Hello, everybody. How are you doing on this fine Saturday? Yes, it is Saturday before 9 a.m. And yes, I am here recording a video. We got to talk about Tony Busby, y'all. Some stuff is really going down. I'm very concerned about it. The last video that I made about Tony Busby was just, I think, 2 days ago, the day before yesterday or something like that. And we were talking about how he could maybe get in trouble. Now, Tony Busby, for his part, has said that he has actually also filed grievances against Jay-Z for saying he wasn't admitted to practice law in Southern District of New York. And Busby seemed to be indicating publicly that he was admitted to practice in the Southern District of New York. Now, this is important because, among other reasons, but really specifically important because the Southern District of New York is pretty much where Busby has filed almost all of the Jane Doe lawsuits. I think it's like 19 of them, 20. I don't even, it's hard to keep up at this point. But remember whenever we kept getting those headlines, Busby files 5 more lawsuits, Busby files 6 more lawsuits, Busby files 4 more lawsuits, new groundbreaking lawsuit. Then I guess about a month ago or maybe more, what is time? It starts going around that maybe Busby is actually not admitted to practice in the Southern District. He comes back and says that's all lies, and then they go back and forth. Well, the most recent video that I did make on this subject, it was with Tony Busby withdrawing from a case in the Southern District where a judge had asked him to explain himself. A judge had come out and said, can you explain if you're admitted to practice, like what's really going on? And then Tony Busby withdrew from the case. The judge granted the order to withdraw. Then Tony Busby submitted the same request to withdraw all over again, even though he had already been granted it. So that was weird. 2 more huge things have happened since that video. That same day I made that video, a big development happened. Tony Busby actually withdrew from every case. He filed to withdraw from like 19 cases in the Southern District. And I did say in my video that I made that it was causing me to be concerned because it puts, from what I understand, a lot of these cases up at issue as far as procedurally, were they even ever properly filed? Well, then, like I said, we did get, Busby trying to withdraw from all these cases. Well, there's one of these cases, and it's not strictly speaking, a Jane Doe case. This case has a name on it. Let me show y'all. Here's the docket right here. It's Jane Doe, which was terminated. So I guess they didn't let her go forward as a Jane Doe, and then it ended up being a lady named Candace, spelled D-I-C-E, not A-C-E, McCrary, against Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs. So she filed this all the way back October 23rd of last year. And look at these most recent filings. So today is Saturday, March 22nd. Look at March 20th, 2 days ago. You can't click on this. There's nothing to click on, but it's just like a little order on the docket. And it says, by the close of business tomorrow. So this was on Thursday. And the judge was saying, by the close of business tomorrow on Friday, Candace McCrary, formerly the Jane Doe, her counsel shall inform the court and Diddy and them whether Tony Busby's motion to appear pro hoc vice in this action has been withdrawn or remains live. Tony Busby, and I think also on this one is that Antigone Curis. Now, this person has been kind of lurking in the shadows this whole time. Let me see if there's a picture of this person. I don't even know if it's a man or a woman. Antigone Curis. It's a woman. Okay, this is her. Wow, slay. Oh my gosh, she's funny. So this is apparently her. This is the co-counsel. You're fierce advocate, slay. Okay, anyway, so we're here. So we have the judge 2 days ago on Thursday saying, look, by tomorrow, can y'all tell me whether Tony Busby wanting to be in this case, because if you're not admitted to practice in a court fully by like taking the bar exam and then going through the extra steps to be admitted into the federal court, you can be admitted through a process which is referred to as the pro hoc vice process. And this is where a lawyer is admitted for one case to practice in front of a court, but the lawyer has to ask and get permission first. Now, in the last case that we discussed, the last Busby video, the thumbnail says he's cooked. Who knows? Now he's well done, y'all. In that case, in that particular circumstance and situation, he was in trouble there as well. And the judge had given something similar to this, an order saying, Why didn't you tell me that you weren't admitted to practice in New York? And then Tony Busbee came back and said, oh, there was an error in my judgment. I should have told you. This is a separate, different case. And then in this case, the judge is saying, okay, you have till tomorrow to let me know whether or not you're actually still trying to be admitted to my court or not, because I need to make a decision. Well, then you get this docket number 74, which is the first motion to withdraw. Now, this is filed by the plaintiff herself and submitted by the lawyer. And then there's the first letter addressed to the judge from Candace dated March 20th regarding her motion for pro hac vice. And then the big main thing I wanted to talk about is this order where Busbee is getting flamed. Okay. But before we do that, I do just want to briefly show you docket 74 and 75 so that you can see what was filed in this case. Okay. So this one was filed. They did not wait. They did not wait until the close of business the next day. They submitted it on the same day that the judge said, I need to know what you're doing out here. Are you still trying to be admitted or not? Is that still a live pending thing? Are you going to withdraw that? So this is submitted by Tony Busbee, March 20th, 2 days ago. Please take notice that pursuant to the local rule, Anthony Busbee, an attorney for plaintiff, hereby moves to withdraw his appearance as an attorney of record until such time as he is admitted to practice in this district. The Jane Doe, now Candace McCrary, will continue to be represented by remaining counsel. So that's it. The whole filing is right there. That's docket 74. And just in case that wasn't going to cut it, because again, I mean, I've discussed this already, but who knows if any of this stuff is actually properly filed, because apparently, and we're going to read together what the judge said, because the judge really does go in on him. Who knows if any of this was properly filed? And it creates a very serious situation because half of these Jane Does are not going to want to keep going. There's also the issue of the fact that most of these cases have been filed under the New York Survivors of Assault Gender Motivated Violence Act, which the deadline and the statute of limitations for filing under that has now passed. So it's very, very concerning and alarming to me whether any of these Jane Does or people who have their name now mentioned, John Does, are going to get justice. Here's the next filing. Again, it's basically the same type of filing, but instead of being submitted by Tony Busbee, it is submitted by Antigone Curis. She says, Dear Judge, same day, March 20th, we write on behalf of Candace, the plaintiff, to inform, she didn't even put the name. These people are sloppy. She just put plaintiff instead of just saying we write on behalf of plaintiff, she didn't put her name in here, Candace McCrary. We write on behalf of plaintiff to inform the court that plaintiff's motion for attorney Busbee to appear is formally being withdrawn. So they're withdrawing his motion to appear. He was asking for permission to appear in this case. He never got permission to appear in this case. He never got permission to appear in the Southern District of New York, apparently. So he and the plaintiff have both filed a motion to withdraw. So yesterday, sometime yesterday on Friday, the judge writes this order, and she did, Ms. Judge Mary Kay, Visco Kill, she did not hold back. She really did not. Let me show y'all this scathing filing. So as you can see, the title is Order Denying Motions to Appear and to Withdraw. Okay, so procedurally, it gets a little bit confusing because he had filed a motion to appear in the case, but he had also filed a motion to withdraw. I don't think the motion to withdraw is even valid because he wasn't even properly appearing. You have to it's kind of like if you don't register to be in the Boston Marathon, you were never running in the Boston Marathon. If you never got your little sticker to put on your shirt, you were never in the marathon. You might have been out there running, looking like a fool. You might even finish first place, but it don't count because you didn't register. It's kind of like this. It's like he's out here running a marathon, filing willy-nilly, but it's like just any old clown out the clown car could just file something, it looks like. But not exactly. The judge spills a little bit of tea. Plaintiff's counsel, Anthony Busbee, has filed a motion to appear in this action. That was ECF number 51. Mr. Busbee had previously improperly filed numerous actions in this court and scores of submissions in this case and other cases using the ECF credentials of another attorney. He was logging in with another attorney's credentials without even having applied for regular admission or even so much as pro hoc vice admission to the United States District Court for the Southern District of New York. In the interim, Mr. Busbee applied for admission to the Southern District. However, as he now acknowledges, on February 13th, the Commission on Grievances, the Grievance Committee, the people where you would file a grievance with them, those people, they denied his belated, his not on time, his late AF application for regular admission. And why did the Grievance Committee deny this application to be admitted through the regular processes? Well, according to this judge, it was on the basis that he had appeared in cases, plural, without seeking admission. Now, they do enter in a grievance filing number. I may go and look that up. I've actually been curious as to what happened in there. I don't know if these are public records. Check back in later. Mr. Busbee attached the order of the Grievance Committee, meaning like they're denying, no, you cannot practice. No, we're not letting you come and practice in the Southern District of New York courts because you don't know how to act. So Busbee took that denial and he attached it to his application. In this case, just as the Grievance Committee order had directed him to do. So the Grievance Committee, the people that you file grievances with, which I'm sure it was Spiro and Jay-Z who filed it. So the Grievance Committee denied his application. They said, no, you cannot. And they said, now you got to staple it to the back of the other stuff. And then he did. Also accompanying his motion was an undated affidavit of an attorney that Mr. Busbee calls local counsel. Okay, so this is a little shady, right? They're calling this person local counsel, Antigone Curis. And this undated affidavit filed by this Antigone Curis stated the following, quote, I am advised by Mr. Busbee that he has never been censured, suspended, disbarred, or denied admission or readmission to any court. Okay, so the judge is saying, what is wrong with you people? What is wrong with you people? You literally stapled to the back. I'm saying stapled, I mean, it's electronic filings. I'm sure it wasn't physically stapled, but you literally filed with me a denial of admission from the Grievance Committee in this district. And you're attesting under a guest penalty of perjury, he's never been denied admission or readmission to any court. But I'm looking at an order that he's denied admission. What is wrong with you people? Who is this local counsel lady? What is going on? I mean, that's kind of, the anger translator for the judge. Thereafter, defendants, that's Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs, filed an opposition to letting Mr. Busbee show up in this court in connection with the case, relying in part on the order of the Grievance Committee. So they're saying, Your Honor, they lying. Busbee and his friend over there are lying. They are not allowed to practice in this court. So Diddy files a motion to say, no, he can't. He can't be the lawyer in here. You can't let him be the lawyer. They also relied on the fact that Tony Busbee had a practice of filing cases and making submissions in cases without actually having ever been admitted and otherwise, quote, failing to abide by the local rules and ethical guidelines. So Diddy and his lawyers submitted, and it's not Agnifilo in this case, it's different lawyers, but they submitted an opposition. They said, no, Busbee can't be the lawyer here for many reasons. One, the Grievance Committee already said he can't. Two, he has a pattern of practice of just not knowing how to act in this court, both procedurally and also, quote, ethically. Local counsel, that's Antigone Curis, has now advised the court that, quote, plaintiff's motion for Anthony Busbee to appear is formally being withdrawn. Okay, so the judge is like, all right, so now we just looked at that. Remember, this is the last document we just looked at, docket 75. It's where Antigone Curis is like, do not, we're formally withdrawing. Thank you so much. The judge says, as such, since there's no longer a pending motion for you to practice in my court, I'm just going to deny it because it's moot. It's no longer necessary for me to decide it because you're not even actively asking to be admitted here. It could be over. The judge could have signed it and said it is so ordered. There's 2 more paragraphs and they're serious. The judge said Tony Busbee also submitted through this local counsel a motion to withdraw his appearance as attorney of record until such time as he has admitted to practice. So When I get admitted to practice in the Southern District, then I want to come back. The judge said, but he never filed an appearance. He's saying, I want to withdraw my appearance. See, this is all like kind of technical, but like I said in my last video, it's very, very fundamental and foundational. It's like as important as, does the court have jurisdiction? It's one of the most important things. Like I said, any clown can jump out the clown car and say they're the attorney on the case. There has to be some type of rules, and they are very, very set in stone. It's not willy-nilly, wishy-washy, black and white. It's no gray area here. BUZBEE submitted through local counsel that he wanted to withdraw his appearance. An appearance is a specific legal designation. The judge is saying, how are you going to withdraw an appearance? You never filed an appearance. How are you going to withdraw something you never filed? You can't take something back you never gave. Rather, as stated above, Tony BUZBEE improperly filed and litigated in this case using the ECF, the electronic credentials, of local counsel, whose apparent complicity, so the local counsel being complicit in all of this, in BUZBEE's improper conduct, look at this, may be grounds for sanctions. So up until now, this local counsel has appeared to be the reasonable one out of BUZBEE and this local counsel. Mr. BUZBEE improperly filed and litigated this case using the ECF credentials of somebody else. And that somebody else, the local counsel, apparently has been complicit in this. And that improper conduct may be grounds for sanctions. So, and therefore, the motion to withdraw is also denied. Bold. This is in bold. The next part. The whole sentence is in bold. Plaintiff's counsel, so that appears to be now just talking to Antigone Curis, Slay Queen over there. She is on notice that further failure to comply with the procedural rules that govern this court and her ethical responsibilities will have grave consequences. She is on notice. If she further fails to comply with the procedural rules of this court and the rules that govern her ethical responsibility, she's going to have grave consequences. I mean, we talked about sanctions. The clerk of court is respectfully requested to terminate the motion at docket entries 51 and 74. It is so ordered. Signed yesterday, New York, New York, by Judge Mary K. Viscosil. I don't know how to say that. On the one hand, Tony BUZBEE at best seems to be a little bit spread too thin. At worst, I don't even want to say it, but I will. At worst, he maybe intentionally did this. And at what cost? And at what gain? All of us now know who he is. Maybe he'll get sanctioned. Maybe he can't practice in the Southern District. Maybe he can't submit filings in the Southern District of New York. But overall, I think Tony BUZBEE's going to be fine. I mean, he posts pictures of himself on his private jet all the time, or somebody's private jet. I mean, I didn't look at the ownership records. But what about these Jane Does? What about these Candace McCrarys? I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. But yeah, the judge snapped. The judge absolutely snapped on him. And to be honest, I can't blame her. I can't blame her because it really is a circus that Tony BUZBEE has created. And I hate it. Like I said in my last video, I was really rooting for him. I really wanted to see him as this kind of, symbol for hope and justice. And he's going to get justice for these victims or alleged victims. And, even if some of them maybe are not telling the truth, maybe we can, get it all sorted out in court and it can all come to light. And now, I mean, look, properly filed and litigated in this case. The lady, he's getting the lady in trouble. She might now get sanctions. She might now have grave consequences. It's just a mess. It's just an absolute mess. And it's really, in my opinion, it's unacceptable because this isn't just a like, haha, gotcha technicality. I mean, this was case after case after case after case after case in federal court that this man filed, signing his name. We'll have to see how it shakes out. That's all I really had for right now. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation. Love you, mean it. Okay, bye.